The name of the band is Legion from their War Beast release. That is the title track, and I see some people in the CMS chat room commenting that they think that has a Grim Reaper-ish sound.
Sort of Grim Reaper vocal kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not bad. I like that.
That's a Grim Reaper vocal with two legs.
That's not very nice.
I didn't say I was nice.
Good point. That guy toughed it out.
He did tough it out. He was back on stage within 6 weeks.
Yeah, he's a fucking man.
He is.
Lost his leg at a gig, fucking got right back up
there.
Yeah,
Steve Grimmett said, fuck that leg. I'm going out there to sing.
Said, I'm more metal than you, especially now.
Yeah.
My fake leg, metal leg.
Yeah, I got a metal leg.
Damn straight, because he's all metal.
I'm all titanium, man.
Damn straight.
Yeah.
More power to him. That's a man.
Our friend from Fort Worth, Texas.
Yeah.
He wanted us to comment on the Scorpions and Megadeth.
Yeah.
Canceling the remainder of their tour.
Mm-hmm.
Scorpions lead singer Klaus Meine, who, by the way, if you weren't aware, he's 70 years old.
Yeah.
The guy's 70.
Yeah, and problems.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that, and not to always go back to Dokken, but everything leads back to Dokken.
Of course it does.
The way that Don even got a deal for the band Dokken was that Klaus was experiencing vocal issues way back in the early 80s with the Blackout release.
Right.
The recording of the Blackout release.
Like 81.
Yeah. And Dieter Dierks actually saw Don performing at the Whiskey in L.A. or Hollywood.
Right.
And because Klaus was experiencing vocal problems all the way back then, is the reason why Don even went to Germany, because he was going to fill in some backing tracks for Klaus while he was, struggling with his vocal issues.
Right.
So we're talking, what is it, 81, 91, 2001, 2011, 2017. So we're talking 36 years that Klaus has been able to to go out there and perform. And I saw Scorpions at the Allstate Arena two years ago.
Okay.
And they were absolutely phenomenal.
Sure.
So for Scorpions to cancel the remainder of their tour due to vocal issues, because Klaus again is 70,
right,
and he has that high falsetto, which sounds phenomenal even to this day.
Sure.
Do we give the guy a pass?
I think so.
I do too.
It happens.
It does.
It happens to 30-year-old guys.
Well, look at Tom Kiefer. Tom Kiefer lost his vocals. He was going to play here locally.
Right.
And they rescheduled the show for a month later, and they even canceled that show because he still hadn't recovered.
Right.
So I was going to see Tom Kiefer and Stephen Pearcy.
Right.
Back in, I think it was the end of July. And they canceled it, and they were going to make it for September 1st, I believe was the date, and they canceled that because Tom still hadn't recovered.
Yeah.
Well,
the thing is with the canceling of the show, and I see a lot of people are bitching about it online, not in our chat room necessarily, but just, blabbermouth and whatever. It's like, would you rather that they went and played shitty shows? I mean, would you rather him tune everything down 2 octaves so that he can talk through the songs? And then you walk away saying, man, that fucking sucked.
Yeah, he didn't even sing the high notes, man.
Yeah, so he canceled. You get your money back. What's the big fucking deal? Unless you were traveling for it, unless you flew in from fucking Turkey or somewhere.
Right.
Then who gives a shit?
So, the dudes are old. I'm sorry to tell you, but, Klaus is... a lot of people don't realize. They think that Scorpions were an 80 band.
Oh.
And, Scorpions date back to the 60s.
Right.
It's hard to believe that, but Scorpions date back to the 60s.
Yeah. Yeah, they are an old band. I just looked it up. You know what year they fucking formed?
64?
65.
65, okay.
65.
Yeah. So they're 52 years old.
That's a long time.
They're as old as the Rolling Stones.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they were out. They came out like a couple years after the Beatles debuted.
Right.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. But they're still selling arenas.
Yeah. And Klaus has been with them the whole time. Holy cow.
Yeah.
And that's crazy when you think about it. They came out just a couple of years, 4 years after the Beatles. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
They are old.
Yeah. So, and you know, again, I don't want to even get into all this, but I just want to make the comment.
Yeah.
It is still absolutely amazing to me that these bands who have survived this long, be it Rolling Stones, Scorpions, Who,
yeah,
are still capable of selling an arena.
Yeah.
Because every time Scorpions have come into the Chicago area, as long as I'm aware of it, they've always played the Allstate Arena, which is a 20,000 seater.
Right. That's amazing.
That is amazing.
I like them. I mean, I'm a big fan other than Eye to Eye.
Yeah.
You know, they're one of those bands. Some of the stuff in the 90s was kind of cheeseball, that fucking Pure Instinct and shit like that was not that good, but overall they were they've always been pretty decent.
Yeah, they've been a pretty solid band.
Yeah, I mean, they have their clunkers like everybody else does, but other than Eye to Eye, nothing real bad. Don't you think?
Not at all. I mean, you know, if you take Eye to Eye out of the mix, I would say that they've had a pretty solid, catalog.
You want me to read the catalog and we can go through it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to go from newest to oldest.
All right.
The last one they released was Return to Forever. That was okay.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a standout, but
Yeah.
it was Scorpions.
Yeah, it was Scorpions. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
Sting the Tail.
That wasn't bad. That was kind of like a very traditional Scorpion sounding album.
Sure. Humanity Hour 1.
I'm not that familiar with that.
I liked, what was the first tune on that record? Yeah, just called Hour 1. I like that song. And 321 was good. Yeah, there was a couple good songs on that one. Unbreakable, that was real good.
Yeah, that was a real good album. Very solid.
Which was good because that came 5 years after Eye to Eye. Ugh, that was so bad. Eye to Eye is the worst. Before that was Pure Instinct. What was the single on that one? Pure Instinct. Wild Child was the single. Do you remember that song?
Not so much.
Yeah, me either. Face the Heat.
You know, obviously that was a pop favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, Alien Nation was a hit.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy World. I like Crazy World. I know a lot of people don't, but I like that one.
Well, they were on tour to celebrate Crazy World. This was the Crazy World tour.
Mm-hmm.
So they were actually commemorating Crazy World.
Right. I like that album quite a bit, actually. I like Tease Me, Please Me, and Don't Believe Her, and what was the other song that I really like? Send Me an Angel was good. Kicks After 6 was good. They had some good songs on that record.
I wasn't a big fan of Winds of Change.
Yeah, when was that?
That was on that album.
Winds of Change was on that one?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, it was. Oh, shit. Yeah, and down in Gorky Park.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of that. But I'll be honest, I probably would have been a huge fan of it if, like, every time you turned on anything, it wasn't on. You know, remember, it was like, they were using it for politics.
Well,
and
again, this was the early era of political correctness.
Right. Yeah, I could have done without that song too. But if it wasn't overplayed, I probably wouldn't have hated it.
Yeah.
Before that, Savage Amusement, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Poppy again, but Rhythm of Love was a good tune. Passion Rules the Game is a good tune.
Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite songs off that record.
Passion Rules the Game?
Yep.
That's a good one, man. Let's see. Before that was Love at First Sting. That's obviously great. Blackout. That's obviously great.
Say it right, will you? Bleak Out.
Bleak Out! Animal Magnetism. That's obviously beyond great. That fucking record rules.
Sure.
With Make It Real and The Zoo, and there's a lot of good songs on that one. 20th Century Man.
Well, that's when they hit their commercial stride.
Yeah, that's the album where they went from being an old sounding band to being a mainstream band.
And the comparison that I make with Scorpions and another band that had been around years before they really got popular,
right,
was Y&T.
Yeah.
You know, Y&T were around in the early 70s.
Right.
But they didn't make their mark until the 80s.
85 and the worst part about them, they made their mark with the shittiest song they ever recorded.
That's Summertime Girls.
And that fucking song stinks. That song, dude, I love Y&T, but even today, like, or when did I see them? Like 2 years ago or 3 years ago or whatever it was?
You saw them local there in Akron.
Yeah. And I mean, it was a 2.5 hour set, and they fucking kicked ass. I mean, Y&T was as good as it gets, except right in the middle of the fucking set when he goes, here's the one that we fucking went platinum with. And then it was like, here comes Summertime Girls. It was like, this song is gay. And like all the fucking dudes took like 2 steps back, and all the fucking fat chicks that think they're still thin moved to the front and were singing along and waving their fucking hands in the air.
Of course.
Doing the fucking over the head clap.
Right.
Ugh, it's like, you guys are fucking fags. Don't sing that song.
Right.
You know, they should use that song as the intro when they're walking onto the stage, have that playing, and then kick into Mean Streak or something. You know, that song sucks. That's my only bitch in the history of Y&T's collect. Even all those fucking, they put out, 35 songs of stuff that wasn't good enough to make albums, those treasure troves or whatever those were called.
Mm-hmm.
35 songs. All those are better than Summertime Girls. They've only recorded one bad song in my ears, and that's it.
Ha! Gay!
Exactly.
I want to kiss you on the mouth. Ha! Gay!
Nice. All right, before Animal Magnetism, Love Drive?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's great. Loving you Sunday morning.
Right.
That's a good one. Taken by Force, that's a good one too. These are the good.
Those were all solid records. They weren't like huge commercial hits,
right?
But just solid rock,
right? He's a Woman, She's a Man. That was a good song. Virgin Killer. Do you like that one?
Yeah, I like. I like the whole Scorpions catalog.
Yeah.
You know, minus obviously Eye to Eye, but
yeah.
But they've had a solid catalog.
They have, and the other 3 are In Trance, Fly to the Eagle, and Lonesome Crow, which are all amazing. So, they've had a great career. And hell, I know one thing that you and I really agree on for the very most part is that we don't have a big love for live records, because most of the time they're not very well done with their fake liveness. But I'll take the Scorpions live. The one from the Love at First Sting tour. What is that called? Worldwide Live.
Yeah, I have that. Actually, I actually have that on DVD.
Yeah,
or not
Tokyo
DVD, but
awesome.
CD.
Tokyo Tapes is awesome as well, but it's like a different band. Worldwide, maybe it was just that I was like 15 years old at the time and I was totally into Scorpions, but I saw the Love at First Sting tour, and then fucking having it in my hands on an album, on 2 albums, because it was a double album set. Having that Worldwide Live was fantastic, man. So good. And I still listen to that one all the time. It's really solid. So, yeah, good career for those guys, man.
So, to, forgive them for, canceling the last few shows, and believe me, they were not on a long tour at all to celebrate Crazy World.
Right.
I think it was only 16 dates.
Yeah, and what they canceled, 5, 10?
Yeah, something like that. I think they did 12 out of the 16.
All right, well then, whatever.
Yeah, fuck those guys. They didn't come to my city, man.
Yeah, pal, never going to listen to them again.
Them old geezers, 70 years old, and he couldn't make it 16 dates.
Right.
Fucking posers.
Fags.
I love it.
Yeah, well, there's our comment. We like Scorpions.
Yeah. Yeah, 16 dates. Yeah, it's kind of a hard tour schedule. You get up in years, man. When you're 70. 70! Think about it.
Yeah.
70 for a arena touring act.
Yeah.
That's fucking old.
It is old. Tell you what, though, you got to give it to Dave Mustaine, too, because he's not young either.
No, he's mid-50s, right?
And he's toured Dystopia for a long fucking time now.
He has.
He's been out for like a year and a half, hasn't he?
Yeah, on and off, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, because they were touring on that record before it even came out. Remember, they were doing shows, and then they stopped doing shows just to release the record. And then they went right back to doing shows. Yeah, they've been touring for a long time on that record.
Yeah.
So.
But Dave doesn't have the same vocal style as a Klaus Meine.
No, anybody.
Anybody who sings in a higher register, be it, Klaus Meine, a Don Dokken, a Tom Kiefer.
Yeah.
These guys are prone to have vocal issues.
Yep.
Because they really put a strain on their vocals.
Yeah, that's what's amazing about Phil Lewis from LA Guns.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He never breaks down.
No, that guy's amazing.
Yeah.
And I know that you spoke to him about that during your interview, which, he kind of explained that he doesn't talk and he preserves his vocals, and when he's on tour he's very careful.
Yeah.
But Phil Lewis is another one of those guys, kind of like one of the guys that always gets accolades for always having performed well regardless was Ronnie James Dio.
Sure.
That guy always performed well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and when he didn't, it was stunning. Like, there's one time that he didn't, and I couldn't believe. Now seeing the way that they prostitute his career, now I get it. But at the time, I was absolutely horrified when they released that, what is it, Holy Diver Live, I think?
Mm-hmm.
It was like later in his career. I'm looking it up right now. And that, it just sounds bad. Dio sounds bad. Where is that? Hold on. I want to make sure I say the right album because I don't want to get comments.
It's not.
You dicks don't know anything about Dio, man.
It wasn't Holy Diver Live, man. It was Intermission, man.
No, it was Holy Diver Live. It was out in 2006, and he does not sound really good.
You guys were not factually correct, man.
And you're fat!
The one you're talking about was not Intermission. It was Holy Diver Live.
Yeah, man!
Get your facts straight, man.
Shut up, Neely. Why don't you talk about cookies and chicken?
Yeah. I love it.
It is funny. But yeah, that album is just, I don't know if you own that one or if you ever listen to it or anything, but he does not sound good on that. Of all the live stuff that's out there of him, I couldn't fathom why they put this thing out. It just sounds like shit. It's just not good. But, that's Wendy Dio, I guess.
I guess. Got to capitalize on that. Strike while the iron is hot.
Yeah. Hey, he's still breathing. Put that record out there. Oh, he's dead now? Well, put up a fucking screen. He can still perform.
Sure.
Jesus.
All
That's
right.
still embarrassing. I don't care what any of these guys say, and I know I talked to whoever it was Doug Aldridge, and Doug was like, yeah, we got to keep these songs. No, we don't. These songs will stay alive without a fucking screen with live musicians playing to it. They really will. It's like, come on. I hate that idea.
Well, again, it's not about the legacy of the music. It's about making $1.
Yeah, but you know what? Then say that. Don't come
well,
on.
we don't. You can't say that. It's just like politicians saying, the reason I run for Congress or the Senate is so I can personally enrich myself.
Yeah, well, that's what they should say, because that's the only truth
But
there
that is the truth, but that's not what they're going to say. I'm here for the people.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like this Dio hologram thing is just the most embarrassing thing. And like I said on that segment when we talked about it, it's just going to turn into a fucking cheaper and cheaper thing.
It worked for Tupac.
You'll see. Well, I'm telling you, you're going to see it as part of a karaoke rig. You're going to have a stage set up, and you're going to be able to sing with fucking Kurt Cobain or whatever. You can sing Teen Spirit with Kurt Cobain for an extra $3 when you come up to the stage. That's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's just going to become a disaster. And Kiss is going to capitalize on it.
Of course they are.
Gene's probably already got that in the mix now. It's like, wait a minute, I don't have to hire new guys and pay those guys. I can just make holograms of us. I'm in.
Well, this all started with Natalie Cole singing with her dad, Nat King Cole, in that video.
Yeah. Well, it's her fault. Do we blame her then?
Yeah. Leave it to the niggers.
Jesus.
Prostituting the music. That's what they're doing.
I did not.
Anything for $1.
I can't be a part of this.
Prostituting that music, man.
Holy smokes. Wow.
That's where that came from.
Yeah.
Anything to cheapen the brand, man.
What kind of rich?
So anyway, that's our comment about Scorpions canceling their tour.
And maybe Klaus should have had a fucking hologram, right?
Yeah.
Then they could have carried it
Yeah,
on.
why wasn't he thinking about that?
Yeah. I mean, he's 70 for fuck's sake.
He wasn't thinking about the fans, man.
Yeah, he could have just put it out there and maybe even sing with it occasionally. Klaus sings with Klaus. What do you think of that? A live versus tape thing. That would be great.
Whatever.
That's so bad.
I love it.